This is about a very large festival. Takes place in the Spanish Mediterranean town of Alicante. Its normal population is about 300,000. In English, it's called the Bonfires of St. John, and it runs 6 days in June each year. The main features for a tourist are the parades, the beauties, and I'll talk more on that, looking at the many large sculptures, and there's fireworks and food. On the final night, all but one of the sculptures will be burnt. The town is organized into about 90 barracas, or neighborhoods. Each barraca sponsors a sculpture and chooses 2 beauties, one adult and one child, to represent them in the citywide beauty contest. The barracas have activities year-round to raise money for the considerable expense of participating. In parades, the barraca will have dancers and musicians organized around a theme such as gypsies, Vikings, primitive tribes, and so forth. They will also build a parade float for their beauties and her attendants, of which there are many of them. In May, there's a red carpet affair where the Bellea del Folk Beauty of Fire is chosen. Actually, there's 2 beauties chosen, as I mentioned, with one adult and one child. So what are the beauties? The beauties and their entourages wear traditional Spanish dress during most of the festival. They do beauty queen kinds of things, like being the subjects of photo shoots, in the society pages, being interviewed as they visit schools, and waving to people from floats and parades. In addition to sponsoring beauties, each barraca builds 2 sculptures, one for children and a larger one for adults. The sculptures have a large central figure surrounded by tableaus of smaller figures, niñotes. There will be a theme, often spoofing public figures or pop culture. These sculptures/tableaus are large, take most of the year to build, and cost up to 100,000 euros. Each barraca also holds a block party for the 6 festival days. The party takes up the entire block and contains tables and grills and a stage area. The whole thing is surrounded by a chain-link fence. The barracas are like social clubs. You must belong to participate. There are a couple of barraca-like block parties that are open to tourists. But even if you spoke fluent Spanish, entering a barraca would be like crashing a wedding where you knew neither the bride nor the groom. So, for you, is it worth the trip? Well, the streets and plazas are very crowded and will sometimes prevent you from getting close to what it is you want to see. There's almost no buses or cars moving in the city center. It is noisy day and night. The only music I heard outside of parades was club music blasted from the block parties, who seem to be competing with each other on volume. The barriers around the sculptures make it hard to get close and get good pictures. The crowd control fences and barricades are not charming. Although each sculpture is quite different, there's a sameness to the style of the sculptures. I don't know if that's because the committee who approves and judges them, or maybe there's a limited number of artists who design them. They're made of plastics and paint and fiberglass, so when they burn them, there's a lot of black smoke. Although this city center is pretty, it is a resort town and many of the buildings are just square boxes with windows. I personally would not make a special trip to see this. If you go, just do the last 3 days. I rented a room in an apartment, and the owner, who was from Argentina, did not like the festival because of the noise and the crowds and the disruption. If you are from Alicante, though, it is by far the event of the year. And that's it.